when Lucky Louie was coming out and I was promoting it, I asked to do The View. And then I showed up, and the other guest was Fonzie, Henry Winkler. And, I mean, for me, it was just being there, I was like Barbara Walters. I grew up, and she was like Barbara Wawa, and she was, you know, the center of so much going on, and Arafat and all this stuff, you know. And then Fonzie. I mean, Jesus Christ. I was in, you know, like 4th grade, 3rd grade, when Fonzie was just the fucking king of the world to me. So here he is, you know, weird, not at all Fonzie. You know, hi. You know, it's not Fonzie. Oh, hi. Oh, that's nice. Like, it's not how Fonzie talks. And, but he's a great guy, and he knows Pamela Adlon, who played my wife on Lucky Louie, so he actually came over to my dressing room to say, oh, I love Pamela, and I love the show. It's dear. Your show is dear. That's what he said. It's so dear. And I was, so that was great. And then I'm all of a sudden a producer comes in my room and says, I have to talk to you. They're about to go on the air. You need to see this. And her hand was shaking on this remote. She turned on the TV on my. This is it's on live. And there's Barbara Walters saying, our first topic is about one of our guests who has a show called Lucky Louie, and this is the most offensive, racist, sexist, terrible show I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe this is on the air. I hate it. And they all started going to town on that. There's pictures of me and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I got to go out there.
Yeah.
And so she said, so we still want to try to do your funny stories. I'm like, no, I can't do the funny stories. You're fucking killing me out there. And I was shaking. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to handle it. I think I called Chris Rock. Who's like an advisor to me, and I told him
backstage.
I was backstage, and I called Chris Rock and said,
"This was the best show ever, by the way."
Yeah, it was great. And I said, "I don't know what to do. These women just shit all over me, and I'm about to go out there." And he said, "Don't forget the women. You've got people are watching at home. Just rise above it and talk to the audience." Fuck Barbara Walters. She doesn't matter. You're going to be on television right now. Nobody's even going to notice what show it is. It's just going to see you. And that was a wake me up. I went out there and I thought, I'm not talking to Barbara Walters. Her audience is more important than she is to me. And I love those ladies. And I know they'll like me. And also they showed a clip, right before they brought me out, they showed a clip from the show of me and my wife arguing about money in bed. Which is, to me, what marriage is. Arguing about money instead of fucking. And the clip really worked. And the audience laughed, and I thought, fuck her, I don't need her. And I went out there, and she made a big deal out of, Barbara Walters came over and hugged me when I first walked out. Like, oh, we're friends now. Like, oh, the rift is over. And when she did that, I realized, this is pure bullshit. She doesn't dislike the show. She wasn't offended. She's trying to get on the map. She's trying to make it into something. And also the Republican, I forget her name, on the other side, said something about this show has touched off a firestorm of controversy. We were on the air for like a week. It hadn't touched off anything. There was nothing. They were trying to, let's touch off this firestorm of controversy right now. So then I realized that it's all false. Nobody was really mad at me. And then I just explained the show to the audience. I knew they wanted me to come out and go, fuck you. That's what they wanted. That's why they sandbagged me, because they hoped I would misbehave. They thought I would come on and say, fuck you, you old bag. And she'd go, oh, my goodness. And it would be all over the place. But instead I came out and said, listen, I thank you for bringing up these concerns, because I don't want people to think the show's here to offend anyone. It's just honest. And I went through the points of the show and why it was important to me.